Alrighty guys, well it is Friday afternoon. I actually had a new friend reach out to me by the name of Sergio. He has a 280Z Datsun with a twin turbo LS. I'm actually on the phone with him right now. But he actually had the exact same issue that I've been running into with my timing trigger. And he said, hey man, I can help you out. He was on the phone with me for 2.5 hours last night, just helping me. Genuine helping, great guy. And we got it fired up today multiple times. And now we're going through and trying to get her to idle right. So I'm gonna demonstrate that. Let's go ahead and turn the fuel pump on. Let me see if I can do it without pedal. I'm gonna have to give her gas, 1 sec. Some little tripod up. And starter, a little bit of gas. I still have this smile glued to my face. And like I was on the phone with him, like I said, he has a Datsun with a twin turbo LS, Gen 3 as well, the same as me. And he had several issues trying to get the cam and crank sensor to sync with the 24X reluctor. And he said no one could help him. He fought it for weeks and he was able to actually figure out something to get his car running. And thankfully, he was able to share that information with me. Man's a legend. And now, I mean, it's crazy to see, like, the exhaust is actually starting to turn the gold color from it getting warm. So there's a problem now. That kind of lies. Is the car runs, but I can't let it run long because my beautiful Mishimoto radiator is sitting right here. So I actually have to install the radiator, install the lines, fill it up with coolant, bleed it, and then I think we're gonna try to get a little bit more handle on the tuning a little bit later on today. So can't thank him enough. There was a lot of hands involved with this, and I'm the type of guy where I don't want to sit there and run around beg for help from hundreds of people. You know, I'll be patient, work with one person at a time, but he straight up said he had the same issue and he was able to help me. So something told me to trust him, and genuine nice guy. So if you guys are anywhere in the Tennessee area, I would definitely recommend for him to help you out with the fuel tech stuff. So now that we have it ironed out, well, not ironed out, but the car's running, it's idling on its own. He did say he's gonna help me get a little bit more tuning in to let it idle and see around. And then once I have enough time on the engine, I'll change the oil and get it ready to bring it over to Sergio at King's Performance for the dyno tune. So 2 Sergios with fuel tech. It's crazy, crazy world. Both are amazing guys. And man, I am so happy to actually get this thing to run without major complications. So the one thing that Sergio from Tennessee told me, we're gonna put coolant in it, get it idling again, and we can verify the timing while it's running. He said he had an issue with checking the timing when it was cranking versus actually idling. So maybe that could have been half my issue there as well. I don't know. I'm new to all this, but I'm very thankful for the help in the racing community itself. And now I have to go to Tennessee to go hang out with him and meet him, because you know it's hard to find people like that nowadays that are just genuine good people. So I got some more motivation to work on this girl now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the cooling system in, start putting water in it, making sure all the lines and fittings are tight, and we'll go from there. All right, so now it's afternoon. I actually did put the radiator hoses in. You can see I got one big line here. It goes to the Y block, right back where my hand's at. There's a Y block that goes to the lower ports of the radiator. The two uppers go to this block, and this hose goes through the frame rail all the way to the back, and it goes right here. And then the other hose, you can see it goes down, and then it goes up, and it goes right into here. And this is actually where I fill my coolant. And then when this gets over pressurized, this will be the catch can. So connecting all the lines and the hoses, you can see I have a bucket down here now. Well, I found out that there's a small pinhole leak right there where my finger's at. So I just had to drain the water back out of the car. And teasingly, I messed with the fabricator Mikey, just giving him shit. Stuff happens when you weld it. You can't really, we didn't pressure test anything before we put it on, so it is what it is. I don't really care. Thankfully, Brian told me he could fix it tonight, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop the radiator out of it, get it welded, and then bring it back in. And then by that time tonight, I'll go ahead and fill the system again. I'll prime it, make sure everything's cool with no leaks, and try again tomorrow. So I did try firing it up a little bit while there was water in it, but I guess because now the coolant temp is lower than what it was earlier, there might have been like a little compensation. So I wasn't happy. It was a little on the rich side, but anyway, I'm just happy, like super happy today that it fired. So we'll get there. It's something that's going to be a time-consuming process, and unfortunately now I have nothing but time. But man, just look at that reflection. I am so happy with this damn paint job. Randy truly outdid himself. Hi YouTube. So anyway, I did have to put in my old raggedy ass reverse light, or my tag lights now, since I had to put the straps in. The fuel cell is now bolted in with the straps, so that's nice and solid and going nowhere. Everything's tight back here. But yes, I have to drop the radiator to go get that hole welded, and then I'll bring it back and have everything else assembled. So I'll check in with you guys. I'll probably see you at Brian's house. So anyway, later. How's it looking, Brian? Dirty. So you guys haven't seen the car in a while. Got the motor back from Graham at Fast Times. He hasn't really needed to do anything with the car. As you can see, she's still heartless. But the door jam's fixed, and the door can be picked up now. And then I think I mentioned before that he was actually getting a new rear end built for it. So as you can see here, this is the old rear end. And then if we go to the back of the car, brand new, a whole done new rear end, and he has what's called a Garth Brooks anti-roll bar now, and it actually says his last name on the housing. It's kind of gangster.
I give it a shot, man. I mean,
oh man,
what, you think it's good?
Brian done did me good.
I think. I'm not swearing by it because it's whenever they're that dirty, it takes just a small hair of that shit trying to get out of the weld. But if it does, at that point, I'd probably JB weld it. Like if it's just literally a hairline crack, that's what's on that billet piece. On the billet, there's a piece of JB weld on that.
Yeah. Said it was too dirty when we welded it initially.
Yeah.
But we should be good. He's fairly confident now. If not,
that doesn't look that great. This doesn't look like a coating, but it is. Like
yeah,
that gray.
It's powder, something.
Yeah, there's something on it, and that's what is coming out of it.
No, well. That's what happens when you rush something, but
I think it'll be good.
Hopefully now we have maintained water pressure.
I think it'll be good.
Thanks, Brian.
Hey, what do you think of the Billy Ray Cyrus mullet here going thing?
This is where I end the clip. He's talking about his mullet. Alright, so I'm starting to think that I just got doomed with a bunch of bad luck, or I just became extremely forgetful. But let me turn the light on. And if you look at the head, see right where my finger's at, there is a port there, and that's where your factory water temp sensor goes. And you see that's an open hole. Well, this side, you see I have the fitting for coolant pressure, so at least that side's closed. But I guess I forgot to get a plug after I got the machine work done to the heads. So tonight I cannot put water in it and prime the cooling system, but I did get back from Brian's. You can see here I do have the radiator back. It's all mounted up, and as you can see here, the water level's topped off, but I can't really, like if I run the water pump right now, it's not creating a suction in the system to prime the fluid through because there is a open hole, a leak. So I'm glad I figured out what it was. It was something stupid because I looked at the fluid on the ground and I was like, there's no way. And then, well, I'm praying that's the only thing. But hey, I guess we're gonna take it as it comes. So tomorrow I'm gonna shoot to the auto parts store, grab a plug, and hopefully that solves that. And I can prime the cooling system, and then we can get back to getting it running and trying to work the tune in to get it running. So kind of a slightly eventful but slightly uneventful day. But I'll show you guys my pain and struggles. So, but anyway, so I'm gonna end the video here for today. Make another video tomorrow. So anyway, you guys have a good night. Thanks for watching. So what do you do at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're bored? You play the practice tree game on your ECU. Hit the two-step, gonna hit the staging button, bump it in, first light. .007. Too antsy. Woohoo!